factorization trinomials where the a is different in one. So in our ax squared plus bx plus c, the number in front of x squared now is not 1, is any other number but 1. So I've got a method that is quite long, but it works for me and I'm very happy with it. So that's what I am going to, that's the one I'm going to use, and I'm going to, that's the one I'm going to show you. Okay, so first of all, time a and c, so the first number and the last number. 2 times 21 is 42. Now, what are the factors? Let's have a look at all the factors of 42. So let's recap. The first step is time them together and get 42. Now we look at the factors of 42. So it's 1 and 42, 2 and 21, 3 and 14. It's 4, the 4 does not go, 5, 6, 6 and 7, and that's it. Okay, so they are all the factors of 42. Fine. Now, what pair of numbers, this, or that, can make 17? And the only option is that one, 3 and 14, because 3 plus 14 is 17. Fine, so what I'm going to do is replace that 17x with 3x and 14x. So all I've done here is I took the 17x and I replaced with two of the factors of the product of those two numbers. So I replace this with them too. Now, the first two terms, I'm going to look for a common factor. Now, number-wise, 2 and 3, they're in no other timetable because they're both prime numbers. So there is nothing, there are no common factor between 2 and 3. So letter-wise, this one is x squared, this one is an x. So they both have x as a common factor. X is the common factor there. So now x times what will give you 2x squared? 2x. X times what will give you 3x? 3. The last two terms, what is the common factor there? They're both in the 7 timetable. So 7 is the common factor. 7 times what will give you 14x? 2x. 7 times what will give you 21? 3. Right. Notice now, them two have to be the same. Have to be the same. If they're not the same, you've done something wrong. So go back and check. You must have picked the wrong number, so must have done something wrong before that. Now, we take them as a common factor. So that will be 2x plus 3 will be one of our bracket, and the two single one make the other bracket. That is the answer. And again, you can check, you can expand your bracket. I'll let you do yourself, expand the bracket, and you should get back to this. Okay. Second example. Again, we start with 3 and the a and the c time together, so 3 times 4 is 12. What are the factors of 12? 1 and 12, 2 and 6, 3 and 4, and that's it. So, what can make 13? 1 and 12. Okay, so I'm going to replace that one, 13x, with 1x and 12x. So all I've done is replace this with those two, 1x and 12x. It's the same thing, I just split that into 1x and 12x. First two terms, Common factor, nothing on number and letter wise they both have an x, so x is a common factor. X times what is 3x squared, 3x, x times what is 1x, 1. 12x plus 4, what is the common factor there? They're both in the 4 time table. 4 times what will give you 12x, 3x, 4 times what will give you 4, 1. Are they the same? Yes, doing well, fine. So them ones will be one of my solution, one of my brackets, and them ones will make the second bracket, the second one. Okay? The last two examples and I'll leave you alone. Okay, so now 2 times minus 6, and the answer is minus 12. Oops. And the answer is minus 12. Now, product is negative, so the two factors has to be one positive, one negative. So now what are the factors of 12? 1 and 12, 2 and 6, and 3 and 4. Right? We need to make minus 4. So the only way to make 4 is 2 and 6. When we add them together, it has to be minus 4. So the sign wise here, the 6 has to be negative, because negative 6 plus 2 will give you minus 4. So I'm going to replace now the minus 4 with the positive 2x and minus 6x. Now, okay, so now common factor between them two, they're both in the 2 time table, 2 and 2, they're both in the 2 time table. X squared x, same as when we've done the single bracket, we'll take the one with the smaller power as a common factor. 2x times what will give you 2x squared, 2x times what will give you 2x. Okay, minus xx minus x, minus 6 bracket, minus 6 times what will, sorry, minus 6x minus 6, the common factor is negative 6. Fine, negative 6 times what will give you negative 6x. X. Negative 6 times what will give you negative 6 has to be positive 1. Okay, so now common factor is x plus 1, which is the same bracket, and the two single one makes the second bracket. Okay, last one. Time A and C. 3 times 4 is 12. Fine. 12 again. So 1 and 12 are factors, 2 and 6, and 3 and 4. Now, we need to make 7, minus 7. So that's not an option. That's not an option. That's the only option. I need to make a minus 7, so they both have to be negative. So then when you time them together, when you add them together, you get minus 7. When you times them together, you get positive 12. Now, so let's replace minus 7x with minus 3x and minus 4x. Plus 4. So all I've done is replace this with minus 3x and minus 4x. First two terms, what are the common factors? They both have a 3, so 3 is a common factor. X squared x, smallest power. 3x times what will give you 3x squared? 3x times x will give you 3x squared. 3x times what will give you negative 3x? Negative 1. Minus 4x plus 4 will give minus 4 as a common factor because both of them have got 4. And letter wise, this one is the only one with an x, this one doesn't have any x, so x is not a common factor. Minus 4 is the only one. Minus 4 times what will give you minus 4x? X. Minus 4 times what will give you positive 4? Has to be negative 1, because negative times negative will give you a positive answer. Okay? Be careful here, when we've got a negative and a positive on the second bracket especially, take negative, the number negative, because if we would have got positive 4 there, the brackets would have not been the same. Okay, so when there's a negative number x plus another number, get the common factor as a negative. Okay, and then we finish off with x minus 1, and the 2's angle 1 will give you 3x minus 4. And that is the end. So I hope you are a bit more clear with this factorization. You can watch this video again and again to get more clarification. You can ask me questions if you want, and I will help you further if I can. Okay.